I'm going to say that Lewis Hamilton is going to finish P2 in the driver's standings. And I'm going to say Ferrari at P3. Mercedes will be the second best car. Albon will be a regular podium contender. Oh no, it's that time of year again. F1 2021 predictions. Get ready to see the most clapped predictions in the whole of the F1 community. As you guys saw, last year didn't go down so well. Literally, pretty much all of the positions that I guess in the constructors went wrong. Except for Renault and Williams, which was nice. But once again, I'm going to make some pretty bold claims in this video. So make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this, where I talk about real F1 for a video. I know I don't do it all too often, but if it's something you want to see a bit more, I will do so. So, F1 2021 predictions. I'm going to go through the drivers and the constructors, and then I'm going to give some random predictions just to add a little bit of flavor to the video. So, 3 random predictions, which I'm going to start off with for this year, is 1, I don't think that there's going to be any street races this year. Yes, I'm starting on a bit of a negative, but I honestly don't see in the current predicament how a city in general can host a race, can put people out of convenience, and so I just don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's possible to do that this year. So that's my prediction. So sadly, we might go another year without Monaco. And you guys know how much I love Monaco. So let's hope I'm massively wrong on this one. Random prediction number 2, and that is that Hamilton won't retire this year. Literally everyone on Twitter seems to think that by Hamilton signing a 1-year contract, meaning he's going to see out the end of this year, and that being the last year of his career with Mercedes, gunning for the 8th world title. If he wins it, he's going to retire. I think the opposite. I think he's going to assess his options at the end of this year, and then probably go on again. Let me know what you guys think. Number 3, and that is, this is a bit left of field. I think someone from F2 will get promoted mid-season or during the season at some point, replace someone at Haas or Fernando Alonso. I don't know. I just thought I'd chuck that one out there. Let me know what you guys' 3 random or bold predictions will be. And we'll see how wrong we are at the end of the year. All right, then. Let's get into the meat and bones of the video. We're going to predict the top 10 constructors from bottom to top for 2021. And, you know, hand on heart, I guarantee this is exactly how it's going to go down this year. So, starting from number 10, the worst team in F1, possibly going to get no points at all this season, or I'm pretty sure they won't get any points this year. Not unless there's a 20-car pile-up on the first lap. We have Haas, for obvious reasons. 2 rookies joining the sport. Haas have been on shaky form the last few years, and they've been really shaky, I guess, financial-wise, thus having to get a pay driver in. So I don't really see their form improving. If anything, they're on a sliding scale, and it's not looking good. 2 new drivers. They got rid of K-Mag, and they got rid of Grosjean. So I think they're really going to struggle for direction, car development. Overall, it's bad signs at Haas. So I have them penciled in as the worst team. At number 9, we have Williams, who, for the last few years, you know, have been resident backmarkers. Whereas this year, I see them actually improving. And I could even have them penciled in above the next team that I mentioned. But you never know. It's a bit closely matched at the back end of the grid. And then the midfield, my goodness, the midfield, that's going to be impossible to predict. But I think Williams are probably going to get some points this year. Maybe both drivers. Latifi has got close at times. George Russell, when he doesn't make mistakes, is looking good for points. So I think with a bit of improvement, with some crazy races, you never know what might happen in 2021. Last year was pretty crazy, so I have Williams getting a few points this year. So let's see it happen. At number 8, Alfa Romeo. They're another team on shaky form. Don't really see much promising signs from those guys. Quite honestly, I could see Williams beating them, but just on previous records, I suppose, I've got them in at number 8. I don't see them being any higher than 8th. Now, we move into the midfield, where it becomes much, much, much more difficult to predict because it's going to be very, very close this year. It was very close last year, especially when we head into 2021, where realistically there shouldn't be much changing because a lot of the teams, I think everyone has to keep the same car from 2020 to 2021, so there's minimal changes that have to happen. Of course, some teams are trimming downforce, etc., to meet the new regulations for this year, but overall, this should be a small overhaul for a lot of teams. Anyway, I waffled. At number 7, controversially, I have Mercedes. No. I have Alpine. Alpine is my team that I have at number 7, penciled in at the back of the midfield. Not really sure with Alpine. Renault have made decent steps the last few years, but I kind of see them going back downhill again. The Alpine switch for me is a bit weird. They got Fernando Alonso coming back. They got Esteban Ocon, who's a solid driver. I feel like their reliability has been Renault's big downfall a lot. I see this potentially maybe being an unreliable year for them, getting a lot of DNFs. And the reason for that is not only like just getting the car to the finish, but reliability-wise, but I actually think that Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon are going to crash a lot. I think there's going to be a big clash of egos there, and I expect fireworks. So by that reckoning, I don't see them getting many big points finishes or many points finishes at all, maybe. So that's why I've got them in at number 7. Come on, it's a predictions video. You got to go for it. Number 6, we have AlphaTauri. I see them being around about where they were last year, to be honest. Pierre Gasly, if he can put in some mega drives, he can maybe put the pressure on the top 5 teams. But to be honest, I don't really see AlphaTauri moving anywhere from where they were last year. Yuki Tsunoda, rookie for this year. I think he'll do pretty well, but it's going to take a bit of time for him to get up to speed in F1. P6 for AlphaTauri in the Constructors. We move on to the top 5 now. And controversially, I mean, am I going to say this every 2 minutes? I've got Ferrari at number 5. I just don't see... Oh, no, I can't see them being higher than this. But I think the other teams above them have more momentum behind them, and they have more going for them in a way. So I have Ferrari at number 5, especially when you consider they've got to carry over the 2020 car to 2021, and the Ferrari wasn't great last year. Yes, they picked up Carlos Sainz, so hopefully there should be a lot more consistency in the way of the second driver for those guys. Might drag them up a little bit further, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about Ferrari. They could be, you know, bang where they were in the top 3 teams in years gone by, or they could be mid-pack again. I really don't know with these guys, so that'll be one to watch. I think Ferrari could be a dark horse, but I got them penciled in at number 5 because I don't really see where else to put them, to be honest. Number 4, I think everybody knows what I'm going to say here. Aston Martin, the old Racing Point team with Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll. Big financial backing. Lawrence Stroll, Sebastian Vettel coming on board. New team branding. I think it's a fresh start for all those guys. I see them, you know, just climbing the ladder a little bit, but I don't think that they might be able to develop as well as some of the other teams higher up the list. So I have them penciled in at number 4. But like I said, guys, it's going to be so close between Aston Martin, Ferrari, Alpine, and then, you know, McLaren, Red Bull. Oh, no, not Red Bull. That might be a bit unfair. Anyway, it could be very close this year, and I'm predicting it to be just so. So Aston Martin, number 4. We move on to the top 3 teams, which I think pretty much everyone has got these 3 teams penciled in where they are in all their prediction videos. But controversially, I'm putting Red Bull at number 3. This is probably going to be another really left of field prediction that I put out there. That's just not going to happen. I look stupid at the end of this year. But you know what? I'm going to buy into the McLaren hype and say that McLaren are going to be the second most achieving team of 2021. Notice I didn't say second fastest, because I actually think this starts to make less and less sense as I explain this. I think Red Bull will be the faster car. I think Red Bull will just not score as many points as McLaren. I think Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris as a combination are going to collectively bank a lot of points. Red Bull might be a little bit more unreliable and miss out on big points hauls, potentially. Sergio Perez, don't really know what to make of him. He should be really consistent. I rate him very highly as a driver. So I see him doing well, but it might take him some time to get used to that Red Bull. Hell, look at Alexander Albon and Pierre Gasly. Two very, very good drivers in their own right, but they couldn't get a handle of that car. Only Max Verstappen, for some reason, can drive that Red Bull. So, for that reason, I think Red Bull might get third in the Constructors. Hell, Max might have some issues of his own this season. Could be riddled with mistakes, but probably not. That's just me really stretching for the sake of the video, like I did last year when I controversially put Mercedes as second best team. The number 2 spot always seems to be a bit of controversy aligned with me. So, yeah, I'm going to put McLaren there. We'll see what happens. Now, that leaves, obviously, Mercedes to be top of the pile in 2021. I don't think I need to explain why I've got them there. So, let's move on to the drivers. Number 20, we have the obvious pay driver, Nikita Mazepin. For obvious reasons, he's not going to do well this year. Moving on. P19, I've got Nicholas Latifi. I think he'll get a couple of points this year, maybe, if there's a bit of drama and stuff. Solid driver. Williams should be a little bit better than last year, we hope. That's why I've got him in above, you know, a Haas driver. At number 18, we have Mick Schumacher, who I rate pretty highly. He might get the odd point or two in a crazy race. Perhaps, I think Mick Schumacher is a better driver than Nicholas Latifi. And for that reason, I think he'll get 18th and above the Williams driver in potentially what I'm predicting to be a better car. 17th place, Antonio Giovinazzi. Honestly, flip a coin between him and Kimi Räikkönen. I've got him penciled in at number 16. I don't think Alfa Romeo is going to be great. They're going to be probably third worst car. 16th and 17th. Seems about right for them. 15th, I've got George Russell in the Williams. I think he's going to massively outperform that Williams like he always does. Proven talent. Future world champion George Russell. It's only a matter of time before he's in that Mercedes. And I think he will get numerous point hauls this year. 14th place. Get ready to hit the dislike button. Driver number 14. Fernando Alonso in the Alpine. So, yeah, I said Alpine was going to be the 7th best team. And for reasons stated already earlier in the video, I think that he and Esteban Ocon are going to clash a lot this year. Fernando is going to take a bit of time to get used to the car again and being used to in F1 again. It's been a few years now since he's raced full time. So, he's going to spend like a few races getting up to speed. When he does... he may not score points in that getting up to speed period, but when he does get up to speed, he's then going to be coming up and clashing with his teammate Esteban Ocon, and I seriously think there is going to be fireworks between those two. Ocon, from what I've seen, is not exactly a team player. He even had runnings in with Ricciardo at times, like he didn't want to let him through, and Alonso's not going to put up with that stuff. Alonso's ego is not going to let him get the better of him. And Ocon has a bit of an ego himself. So I see those two just dragging the team down, unfortunately. So for that reason, I've got Ocon in 13th. But I think the reason why I put Ocon ahead is because Ocon will get earlier points on him at the start of the season. And then they'll crash. And then, yeah, he'll keep that lead or something. It's very weird thinking in my head. But you guys know what I mean. Number 12, I've got Yuki Tsunoda. Not much to be said there. It's going to be his rookie season, but I have him just about edging out the Alpine guys. Number 11, we have Lance Stroll. Bit of an inconsistent character, Lance. He's got the odd crash or two in him, and so for that reason, he's going to get beaten out by the drivers above him. Number 10, Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. Got a race win last year. I don't think he's going to be repeating that feat in 2021, but I see him getting regular points. So much so that he'll be able to get himself a top 10 finish in the championship. Number 9, Carlos Sainz. And this is down purely to the Ferrari being unpredictable in terms of form. I think he will get bested by his teammate Charles Leclerc, who really seems to like suit that team and that car. We saw how much Vettel struggled there. So Carlos Sainz might have a tough time getting used to things. In 8th position, I have Sebastian Vettel. in the Aston Martin. I think he'll do well in that team. I think it'll be a fresh start. I think he'll gain a lot of confidence this year, but might be limited by the car and the machinery. And I think the other teams will like maybe outdevelop Aston Martin, and as such, have him penciled at number 8. In 7th, I've got Charles Leclerc. He's going to be a beast in the Ferrari. Ferrari is going to be stronger this year, I hope, so I have him at number 7. Number 6, Sergio Perez. He might be a little more inconsistent and may not get those big podiums or big race wins as often as Max. I don't know. I think Sergio will get better than P6. I think I'm doing him a disservice there, but that's where I put him. In the top 5, Lando Norris. In the McLaren, I think that is pretty respectable, pretty realistic, potentially, given that he got so close to getting 4th in the driver's standings last year, and then fell away at the end of the season. With a better McLaren this year, with Mercedes power, I think 5th is definitely within the realms of reality. Number 4, I've got Max Verstappen. I've got him there because I think that Daniel Ricciardo is going to carry McLaren a lot this year. He's going to get some big points. He might very well even get a race win. So that's why I've got him at 3rd, and that's how he's going to drag McLaren to get 2nd in the Constructors. This all sounds very crazy, but I'm trying to justify it. It's very hard to predict finishing positions. And you know what? I didn't want to be so boring as to put like 2 by 2 the whole way down the order. Realistically, you look at drivers' standings and where people finish. There are big gaps between teammates. And so I've tried to replicate that a little bit by putting Daniel a little higher than where I think a lot will expect him to be. 3rd place, it would be phenomenal if he could do that, but we'll wait and see. Number 2, you all guessed it, Valtteri Bottas. He's going to get outpaced by Hamilton this year. No 2 ways about it. Hamilton is too consistent, too fast, too mentally headstrong, and just too damn talented to not win the driver's title in 2021. Lewis Hamilton will become an 8-time world champion, and he'll stay on for another year and go for 9. So there we go. That is my predictions for the 2021 season. Let me know what you guys think of that. I know there will be a lot of Fernando Alonso fans who are not going to be happy with this. A lot of just fans of other teams who think I am putting way too much faith in McLaren. But you know what? I've got to go for a bold prediction. I like doing bold predictions. It gets people talking. So let me know what you think. Have you got any bold predictions of your own? It probably is a little bit easier to predict because of the cars being the same from 2020 to 2021. Oh, actually, one big factor, which I forgot to mention as to why I think McLaren as well is going to be a lot better than last year, is because they've got the Mercedes power unit, they have to reshape and redesign last year's car a little bit, whereas a lot of other teams don't have that luxury. I don't think any other team is swapping engine manufacturer, and as such, I think McLaren can find some like loopholes and stuff as to how to improve the car, whereas others will be limited in that way. So I think there could be some big gains to be found by McLaren. So that's as well reasoning as to why I think they'll do better. But it's 2 a.m. and my thought process is a little bit all over the place. I'm a little bit tired, I'm not going to lie. So you can forgive me for missing out that one big fact. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. And like I said, if you want to see more real life F1 based content like this, where I talk about the sport, let me know down in the comments and I'll endeavor to do a little bit more of that this year. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.